Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther and this is Conversations with E. Oh Jesus, why am I so nervous? Let me drink some water. We're back again. Does anyone when anyone gets really nervous, does anyone start laughing a lot? Because that's happening to me right now and I need to calm down. If this is your first time here, I want to say welcome to the channel and thank you for clicking on this video today. If you are a returning subscriber, I also want to thank you for coming back and for being loyal. Love you. How have you guys been? It's been so long. I don't even know how to sit here and be normal again. This happens all the time. I actually need to change my life. I feel like I get really nervous when I get in front of the camera again. But one thing I'm gonna do today, guys, is focus on looking at you guys. A lot of you guys have said to me, "Oh my God, Esty, you're never looking at the camera," and I'm guilty. I hold my hands up because more time I'm always looking at Grace or whoever's behind the camera or trying to distract myself because I find it awkward just looking at the camera. But I'll try today. As you can tell, this is a whole new background. We're still in the same sitting room, in my family's house, obviously. But I just decided to switch it up because I was like, let me try something that is clean, that is nice. And I remember I asked for your advice when it came to the video where I think I was reintroducing myself. And you guys were like, oh, the concept is really nice. The pink is really nice, but it's too much. And the thing is, I had two floodlights that I put in my face. Now, now that I see how floodlights work, I understand why it was such a bad idea, if that makes sense. It was a good concept, but bad execution. So basically now I've got my floodlight in the back and I'm away from the floodlight. It's not in my face. So I hope that this is a bit nicer and it's a bit clearer. Let me know what you guys think because I do value your opinion. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this background and I think we'll probably be sticking with it for a while. But how have you guys been? How's life been? I hope you guys are good. I've been seeing loads of graduations, loads of engagements. Guys, what is in the air? Did we miss it? Oh my God. I was like, everybody's getting engaged. And listen, congratulations to you guys. We love to see people happy. I'm just super excited for everyone and their celebrations and stuff. I've been good in case you guys have been wondering. Um, life is life. Some wins, some losses, but we got to turn those losses into lessons, if that makes sense. Which actually brings us to our video today. And as some of you guys may know, maybe not all of you guys, but I actually recently turned 25. I don't even like saying that out loud. But I'm just being dramatic, guys, to be honest. But 25 is such a big number. I cannot believe that I'm literally 25. Guys, there was literally a time in my life where I was making fun of people who were 23, 24, 27, And now that I'm 25, I'm just gasping. I'm like, it's my turn. Oh. Nonetheless, I'm very grateful to reach this tender age of 25. Man, time waits for nobody. This life is just going to keep going and going and going. But I always say, though, realistically, we're all 2 years younger because COVID actually took a good solid 2 years. I spent two of my birthdays in confinement. We were not allowed to see the world. So I deserve those 2 years back. But nonetheless, I turned 25 and with turning 25, it caused me to reflect a lot on my life and kind of, do some internal work and see, do an analysis of myself and evaluation of myself, not to bring myself down, but just to see how far I've come. And with that, I compiled a few lessons that I've learned over the few years that I've been living. I am a quarter of a century now. So I know a few things. Um, But yeah, no, I just wanted to share some things with you guys. I'd probably share like 5 or 6 lessons, but I hope that this advice can help you guys off. And as you can see, you're probably wondering, like, what is this? I've just got my notebook in front of me because I like to write out my thoughts and stuff. So as I was doing my evaluation, I actually jotted down a few of the lessons that I learned over life. And I'm gonna read over the ones that I feel like are very important. So we're gonna go to number one. So number one is mind your business and drink your water. I'm actually screaming. Now, guys, mind your business and drink your actual water. We probably hear this saying like all the time. Oh, guys, mind your business, drink your water. Mind your business, drink your water. And maybe we take that saying like in passiveness, but like it's probably one of my favorite sayings because, guys, minding your business is actually one of the best things you can do in this life. And drinking water will keep you young, will keep you hydrated, will keep you glowing. So it's a win win. It's a win win. Like when you focus on your own life, you literally avoid unnecessary drama. You avoid unnecessary stress that you just don't need in your life. Like there's no need to mind other people's business. I've been guilty of it plenty of times, especially in my younger years. But even as I'm aging, as I'm getting older, like I still be in people's business and I have to catch myself every now and then. Because one thing I will say about lessons is not just for that moment in time, but it's for when you reach that moment again. Like, are you going to make the choice to learn from like the last time, or are you just going to continue that bad habit? So every time I catch myself in people's business, I'm just like, mm. So every time I'm like in conversation with people and stuff, and they're like, oh, did you hear about so and so? I'm like, yeah. Oh, did you go to oh, I heard your one is that I'm like, oh, really? I actually, and one thing that keeps stopping me is Holy Spirit. Like, Holy Spirit is catching me and stopping me because it's like every single time I start talking about people, I feel such a conviction. And it's so annoying because I can't ignore the feeling. Because if I continue, I just feel so like, I feel so bad. Like, I feel so terrible. So, like, I would just advise everybody in this life, don't be songy songy because we still know those aunties, we still know those mamas, even papas, guys, that just balingi via songi songi. Like, it actually has to end. Like, it ends with us. Let it end because it can't be everywhere you go that they know you because all you do is chat about people. All you do is talk about people. Everybody's business. If anyone wants to know any information, they know to go to you. Don't let that be your life story, guys. Like, actually change your life. So I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually gonna hold my hands up. Like, I was in people's business, but like, the more I grow, the more I learned. The more I age, I learned that it's better to stay out of people's business. Your life gets so much easier when you just focus on yourself, when you say no to just unnecessary drama, unnecessary stress. Learn to say no. People want to talk about it, say no. We all know it. No, no. Just say to people, nah, I'm not trying to be on that. Like, I'm actually trying to change my life. And make it known as well. Like, if you are actually known as a person who just like to chat about people, let people know that you're trying to change as well. Be like, listen, I know I was about that life before, but like I'm actually trying to change myself now. I'm trying to be better. So if we could just change the topic, that'd be great. If they keep going, say, nah, guys, dead it, like dead this convo. But yeah, mind your business and drink your water. Drink your water. Moving on to my next point. One thing I learned in this life is to never ever say, oh, it can never be me. Oh, it can never be me. When I see someone's situation, when I see someone's life, when I see someone going through something, I'm like, bro, that can never be me. Because you know what this life will do? It will slap you in the face and remind you that it can very well be you. Like my days, guys, the minute you open your mouth to actually say that can never be me, this life will show you otherwise. I think it's just like people have a tendency like even the reason I'm saying myself, like when I say people, I mean like myself included, because these are lessons I've learned. I want to be so specific. This isn't me like pointing the finger at like a bunch of people, but these are actually lessons I've learned. So I just want to pass this on. I had a tendency, along with like a lot of people, maybe even like currently, that you look at other people's situations and you judge and you just like You judge almost, not almost, but more times to make yourself feel better, to be like, oh, look at my situation, but look at theirs, it's like 10 times worse. And in a way, you can feel like you're immune to that, if that makes sense. But one thing I will say is like life has a way of being very unpredictable. In the past, what would I say? Like the past 5, 6 years of my life, things have happened in my life that I never, even a year ago, things that have happened just this year alone, I never would have been able to expect and say, like, yeah, that's going to happen to me. I wouldn't wish that on myself. And do you think that these people are going through these things? Like, do you think that they wish that upon themselves? Because they probably did not. And I think it's just a lack of empathy, a lack of compassion for people. And I feel like the more that we practice, like, looking at people's situation and empathizing with them, the less we'll be able to say, oh, that can never be me. Because that usually comes from a place of judgment and not from a place of actual concern, if that makes sense. So my advice would definitely be have more empathy, develop empathy and more understanding towards people's situations, because life has a way of humbling you. You will be humbled in this life. If you do not humble yourself already, yeah, walk in humility, be humble. Because if you don't, life will come and humble you, and you'll be sorry that you were humble the first time around. So never in this life say that it can never be me, because it could very well be you. Yes, you. And I want to clarify, this is not me saying that you can't pray and say, Lord, I pray that I'm never in this situation. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you look at a situation from a judgmental view and you are looking to judge and point, and you're coming from an arrogant thing. And that's where I'm saying that it could be very bad, if that makes sense. Just want to clear that up. So moving on, we have a big one. This one is probably one of the most important lessons I've learned, and it's embracing your own journey, guys. Oh my God. Oh my days. I cannot emphasize this enough. This is something that I have to keep telling myself, but it's a lesson that I've learned. So, so, so important. I can't even emphasize it enough. Embrace your own journey. Accept and value your experience in this life. Accept and value that you have your own unique path in this life. Sorry if I keep looking down. I'm trying to make it look slick, but like my notes are on here, so I'm trying to write down what I wrote because it's like actually good and it helps me follow, like, you know what I mean? A plan. Because I have a tendency to drift off a lot. So I'm trying to have a whole plan when I'm talking. And I've drifted off again. So I'm gonna go back. Embrace your own Embrace your own journey, guys. Embrace your own journey. Everybody has their own unique path, your own individual path that you will walk on this life. And a lot of the time when we look to other people's journeys, we have a tendency to comparison. We all know the Bible says it. Comparison is literally the thief of joy. It robs you of any joy that you could experience, especially in your own journey. And it stops you from developing, it stops you from growing, and it does so many things that just doesn't help. I always say this, even to my friends, even to like my siblings and stuff like that, even to myself. Like, if you're going to look at someone else's journey, if you're going to look at someone else's story, look to be inspired, but do not look to bring yourself down or to compare. You can look to appreciate that, wow, they've made it this far. Like, despite all that they've gone through, like, they still reach like these certain goals and stuff. You can look to be inspired so that you yourself can learn from like their story, like from their own journey. Never ever look to compare yourself to be like, oh, but they got this far and I didn't. Oh, but they graduated in 2 years. They graduated in 4 years, but it took me 7. It took me 10. Hopefully it doesn't take you 10, but like it took me 10. Like, but that's such a bad example. But you get what I mean? Like, if you're gonna look at someone else's story, look to be able to appreciate it, to be inspired, but do not look to compare yourself. There's so much you can learn about yourself by just focusing on your own journey. Like, I would say, like, you can discover different passions, you can discover your weaknesses, your strengths, you can see things that you're good at, things that you're not so good at. Like, you actually like are able to take a look at yourself and be like, oh, this is what I like, this is not what I like. Oh, I never realized that I could actually go into that path and like not just stay here. Like, I can actually think outside the box and come out of my comfort zone by just focusing on your own journey. It also allows you to grow. Like, obviously with discovering all these new things, there's a room for personal growth where you could grow as a person, grow as an individual. Maybe if you're like a creative, like as an artist, as a designer, whatever the case may be, like there is room for growth. And I think that's so beneficial to us if we focus on our own journeys. You have to remember that every single person's timeline is different. You're on your own timeline. And even if you might not like it, your timeline is perfect for you. I know many people. I have a friend of mine that got married, I think when he was like 21, 22. Shout out to Toby. I think he was 21, 22. Can't even remember. But at the time, like you could imagine, I was looking at his story and I'm like, oh my God, like I wish I could get married right now. Da, 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 da. And it's just like, it didn't happen for me then. But I'm pretty sure that when it does happen, I'll be grateful that it happened in that time and not before. Sometimes what is meant to be a blessing for us can turn into a curse if it's given at the wrong time. So I always say, like, trust in God. Like, one thing that helps me to focus on my own journey is to know that in the right time, God will make it happen. In his timing, he will make it happen. He sees things the way I don't see things. His thoughts are not our thoughts. His ways are not our ways. So maybe if we think that things can go a certain way, he knows why he's not giving it to us right then and there. He knows. And we have to trust in him. We have to trust in his plan for our life. Because more time we have like our own personal plan. Like I remember I was looking back at my diary, like when I was younger, and I saw like my I saw like my whole timeline. It was like, okay, at 17, you finish secondary school, you get into college by 2021, depending by 20 or 21, sorry, depending on what age you finish college, you're gonna have a boyfriend. And then after you have your boyfriend on your graduation date or like after your graduation time, like you're gonna get engaged. He'll probably surprise you and propose to you. And then by like 22 latest, I remember I wrote it down, I was like 20, 22 the latest. At 22 the latest, what's it called, you're going to be married, have your traditional, have your, civil, all the three weddings. I had it listed there, and I was like, yeah, but then 20, 22, 23, you're not going to have kids because you want the first year to just be like you and your husband enjoying. And then when you're 24, that's when you'll start having the babies. And then you'll stay in your job for a little while, but then you go on with. I was laughing. I was like, and here I am at 25, single. Oh, Jesus, that saying that they say when we tell God our plans, he laughs because, guys, his plan for us is much greater. Like, I can't imagine what my life would be like if I got married at 21. It's perfect for another person. It's a blessing for another person. But for you, it could very well be a curse if it's given to you at that moment. So focus on your own journey. Embrace it. Don't just like focus and be da da da, but embrace it. Embrace all that comes. Oh, sorry. Embrace all that comes with your journey, like the hardships that come, the trials and the tribulations, but also the joys, the victories, the things that like you accomplish, the things that you overcome, the healing that can come from your own journey when you focus and take time to actually, you know, grow in your journey, if that makes sense. So embrace your journey, your personal journey, your personal path. Embrace it. And remember, your growth is at your pace, but you can stay somewhere longer than you need to if you're focused on someone else's story, if that makes sense. Like if you're too busy focused on how did they get here, how did they get here, how did they get here, and you're looking from a place of like comparison, just like I said before, not a place of inspiration or appreciation, you could be you could actually be stuck in a season much longer than you need to by not focusing on your journey and by not trusting God's timing. Because remember, you are not in charge. You do not own time, but God stands outside of time. He sees everything. He knows your future. He knows your end before your beginning. So I don't know who better to trust if not him. So moving on to number 4, character development. Guys. Character development. What happened to people with good character, with true character? I feel like social media has just like contaminated our minds so much. Like, oh my God, like it's like just people are so focused on numbers, people are so focused on achievements and awards and things like this. And all these things are nice, of course. Of course they're nice, but they're not. that important, if that makes sense. People pay attention to how they appear before people, an image that they can portray, especially with social media. Like a lot of the things that we see are just not true. A lot of the lives people live are just not true to who they really are. Like in this life, like I know a lot of people that they have a certain image online, but when you meet them in person, it doesn't match up. Like it doesn't match up. Like they're not the same person they portray themselves to be because they're so focused on outwardly things. They're so focused on like things that are flashy and the image that they like. They're not even famous. Like it's not even people. I'm not even talking about people who are seeking fame or something. I'm talking about normal everyday people. People lie on their stories, guys. People lie about who they are. And I'm no like I'm not a judge, but I'm just pointing out like people are so comfortable lying and being dishonest, and it's just not good. Like what happened to people with good character? I feel like it's very easy to get caught up in all of that stuff. Like it is very easy to get caught up in it, but it's very important that like you check yourself. I feel like the development of like one's character is usually neglected because just like I said before, it's not like the thing that everybody's looking for, but it's actually so crucial. Having integrity, having honesty is a characteristic, guys. The reason I'm saying honesty is because people like to lie. Oh, why are there so many liars? Like, why do people like to lie? Why you lie? Why you always lying? No, but like on the reals, guys, like why do people like to lie so much these days? Like honesty is, I won't say it's so rare, but it's not as common. There's more liars than there is honest people. Like having integrity, having honesty, having like empathy as characteristics goes such a long way. Like it doesn't only make you a better person, but it also reflects, but it also reflects Christ in you. As a Christian, as a woman of God, as a Christian, I think it's so important because it actually shows that you have Christ in you. Like, what are you actually producing that we can see that this person is a person of good character? This person is really a person of God. Is really a person who lives out what they say they're living out. And it's actually become a topic of conversation, which I think is really important to talk about. But they're saying, like, if you're like a preacher, if you're a minister, if you're a musician, whatever the case may be, and yeah, you're gifted, you're anointed, we know this, but you lack love and you lack empathy and you lack kindness. Are you really who you say you are? Like, your character will speak volumes of you, and your character is what you'll be remembered by, guys. Like, guys, I just realized my camera actually cut me off while I was like speaking. I was like, what is going on? Because the situation is like my phone, I can't see. Like, I don't have it on like a selfie mode, so I'm using my back camera, and it makes it very hard to know if something goes wrong, which is why it's usually helpful to have someone here with me, but obviously I don't. But thank Holy Spirit that I think the Holy Spirit that He actually like pushed me to go look at my phone, because I was like, let me check and make sure everything's working out fine, and it wasn't. So sorry. I was talking about good character, and I was just saying that good character is very important. I know that it won't come automatically. Like it's not just gonna happen in one day. Nothing happens in a day. And especially something as important as that. It's something that's developed. And that's why I kept saying character development. That's why even like my point was like to like actively to like intentionally develop your character. And it's very important to do so because it's it's one of the most important things. Like your character speaks volumes of you, and I just think it should be developed, and I think it's very important to do so. So yeah. Number 5, we have be present. In this world, everything is so fast paced. Everything is so quick. Everything happens now, here, then, that. And it's so easy to get caught up in that and get so distracted by everything that's going on. The world is actually so loud. But I think it's so important to remind ourselves in moments to just be present. I was talking like with my brother the other day, and I was like, we were like having a look back at our lives and like the memories we've shared, and I was just like, oh, it's so crazy how like we have such like vivid memories of like all these things that went on and stuff, and like he could remember things so perfectly, and then I had certain memories I remembered like so vividly, and I was like, as I was looking back, I was just like, oh my days, it's so important to be present. And sometimes, like, the older we get, the busier life gets. And we feel like we don't have time or we don't have this or whatever. But, like, even with the memories and the moments that we do have, I think it's very important to remind ourselves. Like, that's why I say remind. It's not something that's going to happen once, but it's going to have to be a decision that you make. Like, be present. I feel like being present causes you to connect with those who are around you so much more. You have such a deeper connection with people the more present you choose to be. Like if you are like in conversation with someone, or if you are out bowling with friends, or if you're at the cinema, or if you're at a party, if you're at a wedding, like if you choose to consciously say, okay, I'm gonna actually be present in this moment, and being present doesn't mean that you can't, example, take pictures, take videos, capture moments. I'm not even one of them ones that's telling you put away your phone, but I do believe there's a balance. Okay, I do believe that you can have a balance with collecting memories, recording moments, so you also have like a visual to go back to. But a visual, is it a visual? Why does that word sound so weird? A visual. I'm actually screaming. Why does that word sound so weird? So you can have a visual to go back to. I don't even know. But yeah, so you can have a visual to go back to. It's the same way that you also need to cherish those moments. Feel the feelings. Like if you're at a wedding, oh, most time you can feel the love in the room when people are present. Like you don't want to miss those moments, if that makes sense. So I think it's so important to be intentional about those moments and just say, yeah, I'm gonna be present right now. I'm gonna choose to connect with people. I'm gonna choose to cherish this moment, to treasure this moment. Because guys, to not make it sad or anything, but like we actually don't know when most of our times with people is gonna be our last. Like the reality of this world, of this life, is that one day we will all leave, if that makes sense. Sad to think about because obviously people will be missed. But it's a reality. Like one day we will not be here anymore. We don't know when that day is. And that shouldn't be our sole motivation to cherish like moments and stuff. But it should definitely be a drive that it's like, I might not get tomorrow with you, but I have right now, if that makes sense. So I think, yeah, being present is very, very important for many different reasons, but it's definitely an important one. And now moving on to our last one, which is walking in love. Guys, walk in love. In the Bible, in John chapter 15, I cannot remember the verse for the life of me, but it says, the Bible tells us to love one another as I have loved you. And it's just such a beautiful message. Like we are loved by the one who is love. So why would we not choose to express that love in how we live our daily lives? Thinking of someone when you're doing something, like you're making a cup of tea, make one for, your brother, your sister, your mom. You're ordering something, you're getting something, order something for somebody. Sometimes just telling someone they look beautiful, sometimes helping someone out around the house. Whatever your action of love is, I definitely think that it's important to walk in love. Like when we act out in love, it has such a positive impact on people, guys. Do not neglect how powerful, how powerful and also how impactful love is. Guys, walking in love is the way, the truth, and the life. I'm not even joking. Like from a girl who loves love, not just from like the idea of love, but how it makes me feel to be loved, how it makes me feel to give love, to see love. Like, oh, it's such a beautiful thing that we shouldn't neglect. And I feel like these days, like the world is getting darker and people are getting more heartless. But if there's one thing we can carry, it's love. And if there's one thing that we can walk in, let's not walk in hate, but let's walk in love. It helps foster like understanding. It helps give people a sense of community. It just, I don't know, it just helps people out. Like it brightens people's day. It makes people feel amazing. As much as it is an action, it's also an emotion, it's a feeling. Like, you feel it inside when you express love, when you receive love. So I don't think that we should ever neglect that, and that we should walk in love and spread love as much as we possibly can. Yeah, guys. But that concludes our life lessons for today. Like, I didn't want to make this video too long, but just like I said, the 6 lessons, the summary of the 6 lessons. These are the 6 lessons. Mind your business and drink your water. Never, ever, ever be quick to say, that can never be me, because life can humble you. I'm not even going to say life will humble you. Hopefully it won't be you. We never know if it could be us. You can find yourself, like, we have not lived all of our lives. You never know if you can find yourself in similar situations. So it's just important to never ever say, that could never be me, especially from a judgmental perspective, especially. Embracing your own journey, a very, very, very important lesson that we need to tell ourselves when we reach so many different seasons of our lives, or different points in our journey and our paths. Especially when things get hard, it's easy to take our focus off of our own journey so that we can feel less of, the pain and the hurt that we might be feeling from our own journey. But it's important and it's vital to embrace that in order for your own growth and in order for you to be able to advance your life and go forward. Character development, another very important one. Don't neglect it. Don't be so focused on like materialistic things and achievements and appearances and images that you forget to work on your inner self, your inner man. Like, you don't do that, guys. And then being present, just like we said, very, very important. Cherish the moments. Be in the moment. Embrace right now. You might not have tomorrow, but you do have right now. So it's very important. And the last but not least, walking in love. Walking in love is so, so, so important. Look how happy I get just talking about it. Like, who doesn't love love? Like, who doesn't? Like, I feel like it's just very, very, very important. It's very beautiful. I feel like it's a canal for God to manifest himself, to show himself. And when you walk in love, you walk in God. So I just think it's very important to walk in love. I would definitely encourage you guys to apply these to your life if you feel that they're important. It is my opinion, so I don't want someone to do something now and say, oh, but Esther told me. No, it's just my advice. It's my lessons that I've learned, and maybe they can help someone else too. I just wanted to say, just to end off, that every single day is an opportunity to be better, an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to show love, an opportunity to be present, an opportunity to develop a character, just an opportunity. And every single day you have breath in your lungs, it's an opening. You can do something different today. How are you going to impact the world today? How are you going to impact your family today, your friends today? How are you going to make someone's day better? That person could be you. How are you going to make yourself better today? Every single day is an opportunity, and I don't think that any opportunity should be wasted. So I think it's important, guys, that we pay attention to these things, and that as life is happening to us, that we learn, and the lessons that we do come across in life, that they teach us many things and that we can grow and learn from them. Yeah, that ends our video for today, guys. I'm so happy to be back with you guys. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you. Thank you so much for never leaving me, for always believing. Thank you so much for always showing me so much of the love and support, and really for me is everything. Oh, Jesus, guys, don't take me too seriously. No, but honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I love you guys so much. Okay, guys, as I was saying, thank you for always supporting the channel. Please click the like button down below if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a comment. I'd love to hear your opinions on this video. What advice will you be taking on? What advice do you feel like you could share with people? A few lessons that maybe life has taught you? Definitely let us know down in the comments. And the most important thing, subscribe, guys. If you enjoyed this video, if you like our content on this channel, please hit that subscribe button. The more the merrier. Join the family. We'd love to have you here. And yeah, guys, it's been lovely. It was so good recording this video. And until next time, I love you. But remember, Jesus loves you more. Bye, guys.